next one I haven't actually watched either, admittingly, and Rob threw this one out as well. Leprechaun in the Hood.
Oh my God, I loved Leprechaun in the Hood 1 and 2 when he's just tiny. Excuse me, it's such a shitty movie that it's good. The original one from way back in the 90s had like Jennifer Aniston in it, and it was like a horror movie. That then it was just too goofy to not make it that. It's this little dude who's a leprechaun who ends up going to the hood because these dudes steal his necklace that he was like frozen by Ice-T. The rapper Ice-T froze him, and he ends up like getting into the hood and then ends up smoking with somebody. He's like, yeah, good shit. He's a tiny little leprechaun. And then like, it's all baked. And then the second movie, he's like in another area. This guy's like carrying these big old trash bags of bud because they find his gold and they're all rich. And then he ends up finding him. He's like, yes, it's good shit. He goes in and smokes a dude's bong. Like, it's a classic movie, man. I watched it when I was a kid, living in the hood. I loved it. Not everybody would, but I know some of my homies in the chat will.
I think it's no matter which one of these you're taking in, it's like you can appreciate like how kind of the impact that they've kind of had over the years and how they've become a little more open about what's going on. At first it was just two stoners, which is kind of that classic essence of just the scene. You know, you got two dudes getting
doing
high, doing dude stuff, and then going out to the world. Then as things progress, it's like, well, wait a second, now you got a leprechaun that's that's enjoying his time, and you know, getting high is about 3 apples, right? So you know, it's like it's funny how it advances so fast.
I love the way that you tied those together. Yeah, you have a leprechaun. So that all of a sudden, over time goes on and evolves. Leprechauns are introduced.
Time has evolved. So I'm connecting dots, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's just
you're making it sound so logical. You're like, by now, everyone knows. In a series of movies, you bring a leprechaun in.
Nat Geo.
You know, so or some sort of creature that smokes.
We went from people to leprechauns getting high on the Saturday of June 15th.
Evolution.
It's a natural evolution.
That's where we've got a stoner.
Naturally, we got high in a bus, and then we had leprechauns taking rips from bongs.
It's a classic, and it's so bad it's good. It's one of those movies.
Hey, I'm in. I'm all for it. You got another one for us, partner? Since we're in chronological order, I don't want to throw one.
I got the list. I got the list right here. We've got How High, 2001.
How that I could kiss the sky.
God, I love that movie. Method Man, Redman. We went to the Method Man, Redman a couple years ago, the concert.
Dude, I know. That was dope. That was
Times exclusive. It was like invite only, right? It was,
dude, that was so awesome.
The Brooklyn Bowl in Las Vegas. We were there.
Bash, I think.
Lighting up right there.
Yeah, I was rolling up and then just... Dude, they had this birthday cake with a bunch of joints, and me and P were trying to get to it. And right as we got over there, you're like, all right.
Yeah, they shifted away. We're like, let's go.
Redman threw out the sweatshirt.
P tackled sweatshirt. 3 people for it.
P caught it.
Got it for his kid.
Yeah, never wore it.
Never wore it.
Because I wore it. Wore it on the second day. Yeah. And then, believe it or not, on the third day, we run into Reggie himself.
Dude, the doc over, we got Redman. It did do indoor skydiving was the craziest thing. To say that to people and they don't believe me and I have to show them the vlog, I'm like, yeah, dude, no, fun story. I went indoor skydiving with Redman. Like,
he wanted to come in with us.
Yeah, the dude was being the other guy who ran the place was kind of being a little bit of a Mitch because Redman and his buddy wanted to do it.
They said yes, but at the same time we were like, it was very obvious that they had been here before and we had never done it. So it's like, I think they kind of like leaned for it because, you know, Redman was even like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, I remember you.
But I even remember saying, you know, we're just learning and I would hate to embarrass myself. And while you waste your time watching us try to get I didn't want to waste his time was really what it was.
But it was pretty cool for him to be there while we were indoor skydiving and he watching us have fun, stuff like that. But Redman Method Man is How High this movie is. I'm so glad something made the list because it was one of my favorites.
It has to. It's literally right there with Half Baked, with all the classic top ones. They made Cheech and Chong. They're right up there as the top ones. But How High 2? No, it's not a part of it.
That was a disappointment.
Stay away.
Disappointment.
Brother, horrible. I think the taking the updated version, it's almost like the story of Cheech and Chong with updated, modernized feel. Less typical stoner and more traditional new age stoner, and it was really cool to see that. And it's like a bonding over the plant starts out. It's like God blunt. And like it's just perfect combo.
I have literally met a guy. I was walking down the mall kind of corridor, and I had sunglasses on, walking through the mall. He was walking the opposite way. We get to eye. He beelines over to me, and he says, "You got a lighter?" I was like,
"We smoking?"
Yeah, you got weed? He's like, "Yeah, let's go." And that is how our relationship started. It was wonderful. He was a great guy. Shout out to Will.
That's pretty much how me and Trey met. He was at the grocery store, and he had a blunt to smoke. We smoked it. I was like, "Brother, I didn't have a blunt to smoke. Thank you for that. I did have a lighter to smoke with no weed." So together, we came together as a unity, like a Wonder Twin powers, activate two stone dudes. It was a really good time.
There you go. And Red Man, Met the Men came together in How High from studying. They met in the car, and they figured one of my favorite quotes from that is, study high, go to school high, get high grades. Right?
And this has been scientifically proven in my life. I didn't get high grades, but first C I ever got in my life.
I got high, but I didn't get high grades.
Higher grades.
Higher grades than
previous.
I put myself through university and graduated with honors. Highest kite.
And that's proven science.
That's proven facts.
Dr. Bruce would stamp that approval.
He would agree.
He would. That's a controlled test.
He agrees.
Canadian and Michigan.
What you got, Wills?
What's next up on the list? Super Troopers 2001.
Classic. Classic. Super Troopers 1, and I'll even give 2 a little bit of love.
Yeah, I saw 2 in the movie theater. It was released on 420, and of course I had edibles and I was smoking. And me and my roommate went and saw 2 on 420, and it was freaking awesome.
Yeah, I think
1 and 2.
They humanized police for a lot of us stoners, just being goofy, and like even though that's not a full representation of cops, it's just like programming with movies or pop culture in general. It almost just makes you be like, just a bunch of goofy dudes throwing down. Maybe now you're thinking in your head, maybe they're just messing with me when I get pulled over and they're kind of grilling me and be like, smells like something funny in here, a little skunky. It's like, you're just trolling, brother. Maybe they're not. Most likely they're not. Well, but just gives you that feeling.
At this point, too, in 2001 was the date on that?
For the first one, yep.
If I'm not mistaken, it was 2000/2001 where California passes one of the very first compassionate acts, if I'm not mistaken, where you're able to consume on a medical level in some levels. So it's kind of cool to see that media was starting to take a swing, where it's like now where we're starting to see a little ease on legalization. Now you're also starting to see a little bit of ease on perception of law enforcement. Now, with that being said, law enforcement vastly was stereotyped in that movie, because you're not going to, chances of running into a Farva or very slim. Well, maybe a Farva.
Farva.
Yeah, maybe a
Liter
Farva.
Cola.
Yeah. Liter Cola.
Or they were chugging back the maple syrup in there.
Yeah.
I put soap in his cup.
They didn't even think anything of it. The maple syrup. I feel like you watching that, you're like, oh, totally normal. Maple syrup chugging.
100%. Well, normal. We've drank syrup from the bottle many times in my life.
That's in the summertime.
We've had it right from the tree. It's part of the school curriculum is to tap a tree for syrup.
Not much quenches the thirst in Canada like a good muffle sap too.
Yes, and believe it or not, a lot of people might not know this. We actually sat down with Jay Chandasenkar and had an awesome conversation with him, all about Super Troopers, all about all the projects he's got growing on, the festivals he's doing, the
fest that we're going to be in.
We kind of got a. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Save that to the end.
We'll see. We learned that he's doing all kinds of things, and shout out to guys like him and so many others. Those that are, actually letting it known in Hollywood that they participate in this plant. Guys like Seth Rogen, Chad, Jay
Westport.
Jay, there's plenty others.
Well, I think that's the thing is being able to bring that culture and that goofy quirkiness to entertain that group of people is definitely a unique thing that not every person who's a creative can do. And being a director and writer and actor in a lot of places just shows you can embody what you want to show that feeling to be, and that's why Super Troopers is always definitely on my top list for sure.
This FTS clip was brought to you by AC Infinity, leaders in garden innovation. Use discount code TheStash15 at checkout to save some money on your order.
From the Stash Podcast.